Hello, and welcome to Common Sense for Relationships. My name is Anietie.
And everyone, I hope you can hear me. I don't understand the way you started today. You just went, no paraphernalia, no nothing. Hello, my name is Anietie Bature, and today you make my entrance not to be grand. You have to welcome them, do the show. Do you understand? And then now bring my grand entrance inside. Do you understand?
Yeah, you do it now.
So this is how I would have started the show. Hello, and welcome to Common Sense for Relationships. If you can hear me, please type 111 in the chat. Let me be sure that you are hearing my voice loud and clear. So just type, hey, 111, or I can hear you. So I know that you are here with me in the studio and I'm not flying alone. Yes, thank you. Where are the comments? Are the comments coming in? Yes. I can hear you all. Thank you very much. Facebook, YouTube, IG, everywhere we are on. It's good. Thank you, Queen Debbie. Thank you, Igwe. Thank you, guys. I celebrate you. Now, since you're here with me on the show, I would like to announce something very exciting. Do you know that just this week, Anietie Bature, and by the way, with me in the studio is Anietie Bature, and she just released her new spanking music video. Yes.
Is the spanking for me?
The spanking, because the music video can spank. Yes, it's spanking and
can spank some sorrow out of you. Can infuse joy.
Do you understand?
And hope.
Yes, it's a new music video. As in, we've been vibing to it here in the studio. We've been vibing to it at office, and it's a song you can vibe to everywhere. Please help me celebrate Anietie Bature. Anietie Bature. In fact, you have some people already, hailing you. You said kindly hail Anietie Bature. Yeah. Somebody said let her start. However, I know, right? It's our show. She will start. But I'm just trying to say, me, even though I'm the invited guest, I like to feel celebrated, my bro. As guys now, somebody has to be rubbing your head. You understand? Rub your head. So yes. So in case you have not heard that song, I know from the studio backstage, please, can you guys play them like a promo so that they can vibe to the video? But you can go to her channel and click the link inflation on her channel. You will see the video. Guys backstage, if you got it, so let me know if you're playing the intro. If you can play the intro, play it, and then let them get a feel of the video.
Okay, I think this video is quite interesting. We had a lot of fun preparing it or producing it, right? From picking out the outfits to doing the recording to even setting the venue or the location for the shoot. All of that, everything was fantastic. We really have to applaud Broken Walls Media for doing an excellent job. The team rallied and they just brought their A game, and we have that video. I think something that a lot of people have acknowledged is the energy. As in, energy all the way. And we have to celebrate Owek. I mean, Owek's verse was beautiful. His style was unique and just so rich, right? And the most interesting thing happened yesterday after we uploaded the video and all of that and started pushing. Found out that it was Owek's birthday yesterday. It was like, is this a coincidence or is this just a divine orchestration? It was just really beautiful. So Owek, happy birthday. If you get to watch this, congratulations and thank you so much for doing such great work with the video. So Today is going to be an interesting session. It's not just two of us. We're going to have some guests call in at some point, and we are addressing quite an interesting topic. You know, relevant topic, okay? Relevant because this is something that plagues so many people at different stages in their lives, some from when they are little, some when they feel they are older, some when they feel, okay, I've got this, and then some issues still come here and there that make people feel insecure. So, catchy title as usual by my darling husband. When you see those titles that you are wondering, how did they even come about these titles? Just know that Mr. Bature was at work.
Yes.
Because now you are thinking of undressing insecurity.
Yes,
What
now-
happened to things like understanding? So that's normal
That's
for
too
you.
normal.
No.
Addressing insecurity,
It's even to
no,
it
no.
has to be undressing it.
Yes, because you want to remove the
The
cloth,
cloth,
and see
so
what
that will
is-
see what's under.
what's on
Wow. This guy, you like wahala.
Celebrate grace, celebrate grace.
Okay, so let's undress insecurity. So, and as usual, I like to start with definitions.
Oh yeah, carry
Yeah.
go.
So, but this time I want to use a layman definition.
Ha.
Insecurity is whatever makes you feel insecure. Insecurity is whatever takes away your sense of security. The sense of peace, the sense of calm, the sense of all is well, the sense of whether they know or they do not know I'm okay. Whatever takes that away is creating an insecurity for you. And it can show up in many ways. It can show up in different areas of life. Sometimes people are insecure about their appearance. I mean, I know once upon a time I was insecure about how tall I was. You see how I put it back? I used to say if I was 2 inches, honestly, if I was 2 inches taller, I would be fine. That's what I used to think. And I used to pray, God, make me 2 inches taller. And after praying, the prayer was not answered. I now gave myself reason to be happy that I am the height that I am. So, different people have insecurity. Some people are insecure about how big their lips are, how big their eyes are. I know a friend who said she was really concerned about the size of her eyes until she started watching Disney cartoons. And that insecurity disappeared. So instead, she now started to bat her eyelids, because I got the Disney eyes, So different people have all kinds of insecurities. Some people, insecurity about how wealthy or how poor. Do you understand? Like, oh, my family were so poor, we didn't have anything. And so you feel insecure when you are among people who come from wealth, Some people are insecure about where they come from. Maybe it's that part of your state or that part of your society that they consider as outcasts or lower level or something, and so that builds in insecurity. Some people, school, you just couldn't get the A's. People got awards, people won prizes, even those who could not do it in academics, maybe they did it in sports or something. You did everything, it did not work, and so you start labeling yourself and seeing yourself as not so good. Do you understand? And that builds in insecurities. And sometimes insecurities don't just stop there. They now have, they are like seeds that are planted, and eventually they begin to bear fruit. And sometimes their fruits are hidden until you find yourself in a certain situation and you start to see the manifestation of those fruits. So yes, today we're going to look at this. And now, just for our friends who have joined us so far, if at any point in your life you have experienced any kind of insecurity, please just feel free to just drop it. You can give it your own special tagline or your own special title, however you want to couch it. Please just go ahead and type it in the comment section. And while you're doing that, I'd love to welcome every single person once again. Jimoski, we see you. Jimoski. It's been so long. We're so happy to see you. And I can see your comment there. He says inflation vibes. Yes. And then there is unscripted live. Unscripted. Says we celebrate you too, sir. Oh yes. And then Igwe Sami says, I'm so impressed with your works. Oh, thank you so much, Igwe. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. Yes, Queen Debbie says this is a vibe. So this is a lot of feedback on this song, Inflation. You know how when you are going through a tough time, and then there's something that can help you to smile while you're going through it. Yeah, I think Inflation is one of those songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know why I also like that song is the fact that um, I was looking at the song and I was listening to it and I'm saying there's a lot of vibe, there's a lot of positive energy. I'm like, oh, this is exciting, this is interesting because you are saying you're not just offering. Let me say this one. You're offering hope, and it's not just renewed hope. Do you understand? We know what renewed hope offered us, but you're offering hope, and you're pointing people in the direction that In fact, I did a post and I said, inflation won't sink us, but then also will be like Noah's Ark. So no matter as the water is rising, we're on top. And if it goes up, we're on top of the water. If the water comes down, we are still on top of the water. Anything is doing, we're like what? Noah's Ark. And that's some of the things that the song inspires. It gives that hope that even this thing we won't kill everybody. No go kill us. God passed them, and and if God passed them, and now Baba God with the look, now hand with the we too go follow past them.
Interesting.
That's the way
That's
I see
fantastic.
it.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I think now that you have said this, I just feel like maybe one of these days we should just sit down and dissect this song from top to bottom.
I'm dissecting it on the book.
Discuss the origin, the inspiration behind it, the collaboration, all of that, because it's really beautiful. There's so much in
I'm
there.
sure we've started seeing it on TV stations,
Yes.
on AIT and Silverbird Television. Hopefully, someone would bring us in to have that conversation.
And if you have not yet watched it, go and watch it too.
It's on this channel, it's on her channel, it's on her page.
Just go and look for the video.
The link is there. If the guys in the studio can drop the link of Inflation so that people can click it, that will also be grand. But just go to her channel, you will find Inflation there, and you can listen to it. It's like 2 hours, 2 minutes, 30 seconds that can actually change your day. It may just take your day, it may inflate your day from a place of depression into a place of inflation. Oh my goodness.
At this point, I'm not quite sure what that meant, but we'll just leave it at that.
It can move you from depression to inflation. So it takes you from a low place to a high.
So this time around, the inflation we're talking about is not the one that hits you, but it is an inflation of joy and excitement and peace and hope.
An inflation that infuses joy. Okay, so let's go back to insecurities. So
yeah. All right. So let's see. Do we have any comments? Let's see if anybody has written something about insecurities. Let's see.
Well, I can see. Okay, we talked about positive. He said, I used to pick on myself. Queen Debbie says, I used to pick on myself growing up until I heard this song by Jesse J. Body. It's about appreciating your body. No, now there are various kinds of insecurities. Really, there are various kinds of insecurities, and this body shaming. Is one of, and writing about insecurities. I mentioned at one point that sometimes insecurity is not just what's happening inside. Yes, your internal construct, right? Your internal setup makes it feel like, oh, you are. They will say you are insecure because of how you feel about yourself. But insecurity, even when we hear it used in the media, also comes from external factors. When terrorists invade a place, the people in the place feel insecure. Just the same way when somebody bullies another person. So external forces can cause you to feel internally unsure of yourself or uncertain, and these are some of the things that we look at. So we find that insecurity can be both external and internal influences that force it.
And talking about some of the triggers or some of the factors that bring about it, the external, the internal, then you talk about the types where you're looking at the physical insecurities, which is what most people are accustomed to. A lot of people are aware of the physical, where, oh, I don't look like this, I am not as tall, I'm not as beautiful, my legs are not as straight, my hair isn't as long, you know, and stuff like that, my skin is not as fair and stuff, you know, all sorts of physical insecurities. But then there's the part about emotional insecurities,
Yes.
where people feel unworthy, where people feel I'm not good enough, I don't meet the requirements, you know, just feeling like, oh, and this insecurity sometimes can even prevent some people from applying for certain jobs.
Yeah.
They have the degree, oh, apply now. They just feel no. They're not. It's not like, not that kind of office. You know, sometimes it affects different things. You feel contract, go and ask for contract from government or contract from oil and gas company. Me that I graduated from University of something and something. You know, you just feel like, you know what, the emotional insecurities. And of course there is, just a minute, there's also the relational insecurities.
Which one be that one?
This
Relational.
is where you are, like, you're in a relationship, or it's not necessarily a relationship like a love relationship, it could be family relationship, it could be anything. This is where you are experiencing fear of neglect, fear of abandonment. Will this person leave? Will they stay? Do they love me enough to be here for the long term, or will they give up on me? You know, stuff like that. So there's that part as well. And some people experience this, or this is their reality, and you see how it plays out in how they relate with people. So they're afraid that you'll leave, and so they're checking you, everything, they're suspecting everything you're doing, you know, because they're thinking, hey, this person might not stay. And a number of times you see that it's born out of something, born out of an experience they had in the past, you know, born out of somebody left and they're thinking others will leave and so on. So yes, there are different parts, there are different aspects to
Jimoski says he wants
Jimoski.
Jimoski will the ladies. So please, guys, if you can drop the invite link for Jimoski, so that he can call into the program, and then but first, before then, let's take Toby Kings is backstage.
To him, and he has to turn.
Effect.
This
Because
guy
of
is
the
too
babes.
proud.
Because of the babes. Okay, you too, like.
I'm feeling inflation song, so I feel like singing it. Inflation wants to kill me, but I know God die. Can you hear me? Good evening, everybody. Sorry.
See you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Bature, it's good to be back. Glory to God. Anyways, about
This is serious. Okay.
about the issue of insecurities. Where do I start from? I hope you can hear me. I think the network is making the whole thing lag a bit, but I'll just give my 2 cents on the issue of insecurity, because it has affected me personally a lot, and I dare say it still is to some degree, but God is helping me. Insecurity is quite a very serious issue, as it affects both internally and externally. It affects intra-relationship and inter-relationship with other people. I have had my fair share of insecurities, from doubting myself to insecurities caused emotional insecurities. A whole lot of them. There was a time I was insecure about this finger. As funny as it is, this both finger, I just did not like the fact that it wasn't straight. It was bent. I didn't like it. There was that, and also there was also me being emotionally insecure. That one was the bomb for me. I remember my first relationship. You know, I was trying to be the good guy. Be the good guy, feeling like, oh, relationship is all about being faithful and all of that. And she left. Why did she leave? No reason. That was the first one. Second relationship, same thing. She left. Now, what did that cause? It gave me a hard blow. So my next relationship, I was thinking, oh, this one is going to leave. So I go into every relationship already having in mind that this one is going to leave. And when they leave, I'll be like, I talk up now. You get. Now, of course, it affected subsequent relationship I went into. Before I go into the relationship, I'm already thinking of an exit plan. Okay, when she leaves, how it's going to happen, this is how it's going to happen. So it's a big issue. But then again, I dare say that one of the things I did that really helped me, because I'm just saying this thing now, it's sounding very simple. It affected me a lot. I can't really start saying everything. One of the things that helped me when it has to do with insecurities was I chose myself first. Okay. I was self-secured. Let me put it that way. I was self-secured. You are self-secured once you are satisfied with yourself. Once you are okay with yourself, then no other person, no external force can make you feel less of who you are. You allow how much of insecurity you get sometimes is as a measure of how much influence you allow people, how much of other people's influence you allow into your space and into your life. Okay. Once you have yourself secured, once you have your esteem secured, nobody will make you feel less of yourself. Nobody will make you feel like there is this thing. And it's crazy because even in today's world, you don't even need somebody to come into your space and inject insecurity into your space. You go on social media, you will just stay and see people do stuff, and by yourself, you will wear the agbada of insecurity. And sometimes you don't even know. It would only show itself when you are relating with other people. Do you understand? If it shows that when you are relating with them, and if someone who does self analysis, when you take yourself back and analyze yourself, you'll discover that there's a problem with me here. So one of the things that actually helped me a lot when it has to do with insecurity, and it's still helping me, is that I am self-secured. Self-secured. It's an intentional act. I do it every day. I wake up every morning and I choose myself. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, KJ, you are enough. You can do this. If there is something, if I'm not okay with a particular level, all I need to do is tell myself, okay, I want to achieve this. I need to put in the work. Okay, so that way, no other person comes and makes me feel insecure, basically. Yeah. So yes, that's pretty much it for me.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, somebody said, preach, P-tubes.
Yeah, so build your what should I call it? Build your self-awareness, build your self-esteem, you know, tell yourself, like he said, when
self-secure.
Yes, wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I'm enough. I can do this. Thank you very much, KJ. That's so important. And you know, there's the part of, he started with one of the key steps in addressing insecurity, which is being aware of the fact.
Acknowledging.
Yes, because sometimes people just want to brush it aside and act as if it's not an issue. I don't have that problem, you know, or these issues are going on in my life. There are things that are happening, but they don't sit down to check why is it happening and drill down till they get to the root cause of this of the symptoms which they're finding, which is insecurity, and then drill down to why is this even happening in the first place. And if you don't acknowledge it, then you can't bring yourself to the point where you realize that you need to be doing the self-talk, that you need to be reassuring yourself, you know, you need to be speaking positively to affirm yourself and to motivate yourself and all of that. So self-awareness, really important, and he has added there's something you need to do. Decide that you will do it and speak to yourself, motivate yourself, encourage yourself. If you want to go like David did, say, encourage yourself in the Lord, you know, so that you can go and do what you need to do. Yes, so self-awareness is one of them. Another thing that you can do with this whole issue of insecurity is to try to find out what's the root cause. Where did it come from? You know, it's like saying, hey, I ended up at the wrong destination.
How did
How
I
did I get here? So you may want to know where you took the wrong turn. You know, back in the days when we didn't have GPS, you are traveling or you're driving, you get somewhere and you're like, okay, I'm in Etina and I'm supposed to be going to Ikotekpene or something.
Yeah.
And you ask, where am I? They tell you where you are. And then you ask, I was going to so and so place. They're like, is that turning?
You don't pass them.
You should have continued straight, you know, or you should have gone right or something. And then they redirect you to the point where you missed it. And then you take it from there. You start your correct course, right?
That's what's called course correction.
Well, you now come back to the point where you missed it. So sometimes when it comes to insecurities, you actually have to be able to look into your life. Just go down memory lane, try to find out where is this coming from, what happened, how come I feel this way, and then start to address it. You may be able to address it after acknowledging it by saying, okay, is that really true? Does this define me? You can ask yourself questions. You can motivate yourself, right? But sometimes it may be beyond that and you may need help.
Yeah, sometimes you may need help. You may need help. You may need to get to see a counselor or a therapist, or just take a course, right? Take an online course. There are materials, even in the Common Sense Global Consult, we offer materials that can help you. Sometimes you can, if you are personally motivated, you can take those steps by yourself. If you need a therapist, someone can walk you, or you need a coach, someone can walk you through those steps. But these are useful and helpful tips that have been given. Self-affirmation. You can have personal declarations that you speak to yourself. But something very critical you have mentioned is first acknowledging that I have a problem and I need help. And now, and something that most people do that I think also doesn't help is there's that fear of, or that fear of societal shame. You know, let me not call it fear of shame. Let me call it a shame. The shame that we feel like, oh, because I am not this, therefore I cannot be accepted as that, right? And that shame itself stops us from doing a lot of things. And that shame comes as a product of the insecurity. And because you are insecure, like the scripture says, you will make excuses for many things. Like there's a lion in the street. So you will not go out because you feel like, if I don't have this thing, if I go out, they will. Do you understand? So that societal shame that, oh, they will this, or they would label me that, or they will do this, or they would, all of that puts so much pressure. You know, so that societal pressure, societal influence, putting pressure on people, and we begin to react to that. Do you understand? Begin to react to that, and so you are not able to just be yourself.
So there's something I want you to talk about, because you know that in this day and age, right, a lot of people feel my truth is my truth, my past is my past. You don't need to know if it doesn't concern you, you know, and stuff like that. In fact, sometimes you don't need to know, full stop. That time has passed. You love me for who I am now and going forward. But in a scenario where there is insecurity because of something that happened in the past, in relationships, especially if you're talking about getting married or you are married, to what extent should people be open about the root cause of their insecurities? To what extent should they talk about maybe events that happened in the past or experiences that brought them to this point of insecurity? And does talking about it help?
Okay, let me try to respond to it this way. um, very early on in my life, uh, I stumbled on a thought, right, that says this: don't open a new door without closing a former one. And this is talking about relationships. You know, to say, don't start a new relationship without closing the door on your existing relationship. What does that mean? That means that it's looking at relationships like rooms that we venture into. And then if we're venturing into those rooms, it means that we are passing through doors. And doors are what? Gateways, isn't it? Now, so don't open a new door without closing the other one. So the fact that you walked out on a relationship does not mean you've closed the door. It means you left the room. And if you've left the room into another room, another relationship, and you did not close this door, whatever different things from that past relationship will filter into the new one. So it's like when you let me use this example. It's not always very nice, but it's like when you mess inside one room, and then you come out, and you didn't close the door inside. The smell will just follow you right into the other room. And I'm using mess. Everybody knows what it means to mess, Nabi.
This
Why are
husband
you
of
just
mine.
laughing? No, no.
You're not
Don't they,
serious at all.
don't they know what it means to mess? No, it's okay when you pollute the air.
See, anyhow you put it, this is
It doesn't sound right. Okay.
Just go ahead.
You know, and now the reason why I have to use that, the reason why I have to use that is because why are you just laughing now? Allow me to make my point.
Yeah, make the point.
The reason why I have to use that is because it's a foul smell, right? Now, whatever is a foul smell that is from a past relationship, if you don't close the door, it will filter into the next relationship. Do you understand? And that encompasses many things: insecurity, insecure experiences, traumatic emotional experiences, things that happened in your past are going to filter right into the next relationship. So if there was something that happened in your past that you did not deal with, right, it's going to show up again somehow in the next room that you walk into. So we always say, even if you are walking out of a relationship, you need to know how to close the door. You need to know how to shut it. You know, some people will call it, what's that word they used to
Closure.
say? Yeah, you're looking for closure. But it's simple things that you do to close the door. Simple questions I can ask. Why is this relationship ending? What didn't work? What worked? Because sometimes we only tend to see the bad in our experiences. But can we look at the good? Because sometimes looking at the good actually exposes to you also the other thing, what you could have done differently. Is it this thing, is it a deal breaker, or is it something that we just didn't have enough information about to make a better decision? Now, that's one, right? Now, the other part of your question, which is the talking about it, does it actually help? Right. I will answer that one this way. If talking about it helped, Nigerian economy should have been better by now, because all of us talk about it. Yes, we talk and we talk and we talk. Do you understand? About Nigerian economy. Now, so to that extent, I would say talking about it without talking about the right information, the right knowledge, it's not going to make any difference. It will just be another conversation, another discussion, just like we all talk about Nigeria. If the people that you are talking about it to do not even have the skill set, the know-how, the experience to do something about it, it will just be what? Another conversation.
Okay,
Right.
but if you're in a relationship with someone, like you had a terrible experience in the past, it has a certain way of affecting you right now, and then you're getting into a relationship with somebody, and you know that this your attitude that is as a result of that thing may come up. Isn't it safe to let the person know, look, oh, or maybe when it happens the first time, you say, actually, every now and then, and this is the reason. you know,
Okay, so
that
you
that
see,
kind of context, so that they can understand
in
you
this
better.
context, in this context, if you are in a relationship with anyone, then both of you have to be able to talk about yourselves.
And that's being vulnerable, right?
Yes.
Which a lot of people don't do.
Don't do. Now, you have to be able to talk about yourselves. In fact, something I was going to point out is the fact that sometimes, that's why I said you need to talk to someone that has the experience and the know-how. Okay. Sometimes you may not even know what experience or what experience created the insecurity.
Yeah.
You may not know.
It
It is only when you expose, when you're speaking to a therapist, a psychologist, a coach or a counselor, and the person has the right tools, like we do in Common Sense Global Consult. Are you perceiving me do my eyes? You know, see, sometimes when you have the tools, when you have the answer to certain problems, mathematics no they fear you. You know, people that fear mathematics when they don't have the formula. But when you have the formula, there are certain questions that do not scare you. Now, but if you talk to people that have the right tools, what happens is that when they expose you to the right tools, they are able to do what? To drill down to the event or to the memory, to the experience that created the insecurity. And that's the way of walking back to help you move forward. Nice. Do you understand? Yeah. That's how to deal with it. Now, in the context of the person you are in a relationship with, when you are in a relationship with someone, you guys have to talk about yourself, especially when you say we want to get into a lasting relationship, or a relationship that has you want to get married. You want to get married, relationship that has a future. When you want to do that, you have to talk about yourself. And talking about yourself must talk about not just the things that you are good at, but also the things that you are bad at. The things that you are bad at, the things you don't do well. Oh, I'm not a very good cook.
Or the things that happened that were not really pleasant.
No, I'm using I'm not a very good cook as a baseline to say, as a lady, I tell the guy that I'm in a relationship with, I'm not a very good cook. And I may actually have insecurities because of my inability to cook well. I'm giving that as an example. Now, if that is happening, I have to be able to tell the guy, I'm not a very good cook. But what some people in this generation would tend to do is every time the guy is coming to visit you, you order food. You order food, and then the guy comes and eats good food. And the guy goes away and eats good food and feels like, she can really cook. But, so those are some of the things that we do in this generation that we shouldn't do. That will not help a relationship
on the long term.
Okay,
all right. So I think it's time for us to take a break, and right after that, when we come back, we will have a call in. All right.
Guys, are you?
Nope.
The video is out now, streaming on YouTube.
Nope.
On Anietie Bature.
Okay, maybe. But I need more, guys. Broken Walls is doing an amazing giveaway for the best performance of inflation video. Are you interested? Can you dance? Can you sing? Can you act? Check out the song on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. The trend is already going on. The challenge is already going on. We are giving amazing giveaways to the best performance person we find on social media. Don't be left out.
Okay, interesting. Some people that used to hide behind the camera, we brought them in front now. Well done to the team for that. All right. Okay, so
we have Jimoski in the studio.
Yes.
And Jimoski, I hope you have your sound on. Can you hear us? Jimoski, are you there?
Okay, so
Yeah, good evening.
We can.
okay,
Okay, yeah.
yes, we can hear you
We
now.
can hear you now.
All right, good evening, everyone.
We can hear you.
Yeah, so you can hear me good evening. All right. So I was looking at the topic today, insecurity, and it just reflected me to the song that Mr. Bature released yesterday, inflation. And I was looking at trying to collaborate both of them together. And I was like, these two, insecurity, inflation, both of them are like Mr. and Mystery. Because when you are looking at insecurity, inflation as well can as well cause insecurity as well. So maybe when you guys were already looking at this topic, you didn't know that you were about to discuss about inflation here, not knowing that that's it. So actually, inflation can cause insecurity when we talk about the country we are in today. When you look at the prices of things that's rising up every day, it can even cause insecurity as well. And we look at the way business are collapsing everywhere. We are talking about the inflation rate that business are collapsing everywhere. It's enough to make someone to say, can I go into this business or I should take my money and jackpot, That's another inflation leading to insecurity as well. Then when we look at it personally, the other personality way, it can also make you to make some difficult decision. It will be very hard for you to trust people around you. That's it. Because, for example, somebody into a business and the person tells you, please come and try this business, try this business. Then tomorrow, you now hear dollar is going to 1.8, and you have that money where you inflation is increasing, prices of things are going up as well. How do you expect to trust that person to invest into that business? So when you are looking at insecurity, inflation, I believe you guys just make this rice and stew together and boil it for us tonight. But it's fine, we'll eat it. Then it can also lead to low self-esteem as well. It can cause you to adapt your ability. You can adapt your ability for for you can even about the ability, your what you have, the value you have, you can doubt it. You can also doubt this country, that this country there is nothing good can come out from this country. But believe me, there are people who are cashing out every day. They are trying their luck, investing, still pushing, even in the midst of what is going on, people are still pushing. So it can also lead to that as well. But in order, or when you are able to know what you want to do, and when you trust the process you are following through, you find out that insecurity and inflation, all those things, you will definitely be on top of them. I can tell you, every day in this country, people are cashing out. Personally, for me, I wanted to start up a business called Jamita Concept, and I've been having that business vision for years to start it. But I was just looking at the environment. Can this thing work? Can this thing work? Can this thing work? And this was something I should have even started cashing out maybe 8, 9 years ago. But because of I was insecure, I was not able to go into it. But one day, I decided to take the bold step. And by the grace of God, what happened at least they're growing little by little that I really don't expect it. So I just want to say this out to everybody out there. Please, don't look at it, what dollar is saying. Don't look at other people's experience. Forget about what people are saying. Marriage is not working, relationship is not working. I know all those things are they are important, and they are enough to discourage you. They are enough to put you into that read of insecurity to lock yourself up. But please, open the door, try your luck, and just see what's happening. Because one thing about trying luck, even the Bible make us understand that if you take a step, God is ready to take 3 steps with you. You can't be standing on and you expect something to happen. So open that door of insecurity, try your luck. Don't mind what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. Create your own pattern, make your own history, make your own name, and at the end of the day, you find out that inflation and insecurity, you will be over them. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks.
Drops the mic.
This
Jimoski
just
on fire.
drops the mic. Drops the mic.
Jimoski.
Jimoski, this is this phenomenal contribution. Do you understand? I mean, it's amazing. It's exciting.
Yes.
As in that, just load upon load
And
upon
that
load.
testimony is just phenomenal.
No.
You know, I like the fact that he has highlighted that insecurity can prevent you from doing things that will make you progress.
Yes.
Insecurities can keep you from moving forward with your business idea.
Yes.
And in doing that, you lose whatever wealth was supposed to come to you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Insecurities can prevent you from applying for that job, can prevent you from putting in for that contract, and so on. Insecurity can keep you from asking that lady out.
It can keep you from asking the lady out.
Yes.
And it can keep you from saying yes when the guy asks you out.
It can also keep you from saying, let's get married, because you're thinking, how will we handle this and how can we afford that with the inflation, with everything. Jimoski, thank you. That was so insightful.
As you are saying, can keep you from asking that lady out. I hope
some people are hearing.
I hope some people are hearing.
Yes. And you know, there's something else he talked
Benet
about.
I'm not calling anybody's name. I'm just, you can see I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at anywhere else. Yes. So go ahead.
Something else that he highlighted is this whole thing. Sometimes we use excuses, right, to cover our insecurities. When you say all the good guys are taken, there's no good lady out there, and so on. Marriage doesn't work anyway. There's so much divorce and so on. You know, but call those excuses, and you can call them the wind. You know why I call them the wind? Because there's a place in the Bible that says, if you consider the wind, you will not sow.
Yes.
If you consider the wind, you say, it's going to rain, it's going to this, it's going to that. The way it's looking, it's not a good season for planting. It's not a good season for investing. It's not a good season to get married. It's not a good time to invest. It's not a good time to start a relationship. You find a reason. And so because of that, you hold back and do nothing. But even when the children of Israel were in captivity, they were still getting married. They were still having children. Somebody will say, why do you bring children into this suffering? The fact is, if you don't, there will be no future. If you don't, all of you will die out in captivity and there will be no future. That's how that race will be lost. So you have to keep going. And children is not literal children all the time. Sometimes children is your idea. Children is your vision. Children is your what should I call it?
Children is your product, your
yes,
produce.
Exactly.
I have to read one comment.
I can see.
I have to read one comment. My mother came online today, and the question she's asking when she heard this topic is, where is Martins? Mrs. Bature, we celebrate you. I have to read the comment. It's from my mother before. I say, all the way from Abuja, we celebrate you, ma. We celebrate. She said, where is Martin? She's hearing this topic. And you said, I said I wasn't going to call names.
Yes.
But well, Martins, wherever you are, Mame is asking for you, please. You can log on if you are watching and then respond to her, because I don't have answer to give her.
Yes.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I want to use this opportunity to advise all those ladies who are always praying that they will marry a man who does not have a mother. Ha! Hey, if you pray that kind of prayer, you might be missing the kind of mother-in-law that I have. Kind of mother-in-law that makes your life easy. The kind of mother-in-law that takes you as her own daughter, right? And just makes sure she's there, problem solving, helping, enabling, empowering. It's just amazing. So, Mami, I'm celebrating you live online, as in, it's not, you know, some people do it for sure. But if anybody wants to know how wonderful my mother-in-law is, ask all my friends and ask all the people in my office who talk to me often.
You can also ask. You can also ask. You can ask all the people in my office. Who, anytime my mother is around, they seem to be happier.
Yes.
And then when she goes, it's like, we are saved.
Our mother has gone. Oh my goodness. Yes. So don't assume that all mothers-in-law are problematic or are difficult or are bad or are wicked or are looking for the downfall of the wife. No, there are those of them who are outright blessings, angels, right here with us.
And,
okay.
And I think, she said, thank you guys, we love you. Yeah. Mame. Martins responded. He said, Mame International. Someone is after my life. Let me just take the other comments.
All right.
Omorenze said, I don't know this Martins, but he has made a list. Omorenze, that's true. Omorenze, my guys told me you did not reach out. You had my giveaway for last week, but you did not reach out. Please reach out to the guys so that they can get your number. Or if you're not comfortable with your number, you can drop your email in the chat. From your email, we will get your number and your details. Right?
Hey, there's a comment up there from Debbie. She says she struggled with the thoughts.
Let me just run through the comments.
All right.
Debbie said, yes, be self-secured. Pastor Railbot said, too much cannot be said about this matter. Yes. He says, I don't know the content of the National Value System Agency, but I think a lot of work must be done in this area of insecurity. True words, sir. Fred says, does it also relate low self-esteem and inferiority complex?
Yes,
maybe I'll speak on that before we round up. Please just remind me. Okay. Debbie says, trust the process. I'm sure that was about Jimoski, what Jimoski was saying. He said, I struggle with the thoughts of uploading my spoken word on YouTube. Debbie, for you, I will do anything. In fact, if you don't want to upload it on your YouTube, please send it to me. We will upload it for you on Broken Walls Media, right? And then we'll push it from there. So, Debbie, please don't struggle with. Don't. You are one of our loyal clients. So send it. We will push it from Broken Walls Media. We'll upload it. In fact, I'm sure if I give it to one of the guys, they will come up with something creative to do with that spoken word. So please, Debbie, send it in. And who knows, one of the days when they've done something with it, we will showcase it on this show. Debbie, please, don't hold back. Don't hold back. Omorenze said, insecurity can make one stagnant. Exactly. Yes. Debbie said, good evening, Mommy Stella Bature. And then she said, yes, sir, thank you. Jimoski says, this topic needs part 2. I have Toby back in the studio as we begin to round up. Okay. I have Toby back in the studio. Toby, let's hear what you have to say in another 2 minutes. Do you have your sound on? Hello, can you hear us? It's not. Can you hear us? Okay, so maybe he has.
Okay, so something that is really important when it comes to this whole insecurity matter. Please, everybody, please realize that it can actually, like has been said here, stagnate you.
Yeah.
It can impact your life negatively if you don't deal with it.
Yeah.
Don't feel you can hide it.
Sometimes, it can actually rob you.
Yes, of a lot.
So stagnate is like keep you at one point. But when somebody robs you, I think they take you back. You're not just at the point. It takes you back.
Yeah.
Because something that you could have had, you lose.
Yeah. And sometimes we try to hide it with different things. We try to hide it by putting up a bold front. Sometimes we try to hide it by associating with a certain class of people. Sometimes we try to hide it with dressing a certain way, expensive outfits and stuff. But if you don't deal with what is inside, no matter how expensive your exterior is, you will still be negatively impacted by that insecurity. So we've talked about some of the things that you can do here to address it. But if it's really beyond you, please go ahead and get a counselor to work with you to address those issues. Right?
I also wanted to say something about one of the one other part or something that you mentioned, which is the fact that interestingly, some of the things that you are insecure about, other people are dying for. Do you understand? Yeah. I remember one time. It's just that I know this one is my wife. She's my darling wife. Where's your hand now? It's my darling wife. I want to give this example, but I know she's my darling wife. I know she's this thing. So maybe on this show I won't give it because she's very holy and righteous. Maybe if you meet me on my TikTok, do you know that I'm now on TikTok? I'm actually on TikTok, me like this. They forced me into TikTok. So maybe if you come to my TikTok channel, I will tell you the full version of this example that I want to give. Because on my TikTok channel, I don't used to send anybody. It's my channel. If you don't like what I'm saying, go away. Yes, that's on my channel. On my Instagram, I'm more I have different personalities. On my Instagram, I'm a professional.
So
Do
can
you
we say
understand?
you have multiple personality disorder?
I have it. No,
On
my own
social
is,
media.
my own is multiple personality order. They are very ordered personalities. So on Instagram, I'm a very professional.
Scattered.
No, I'm a very
Okay,
professional
Instagram.
Instagram. But on
Professional.
TikTok,
Scattered.
TikTok is area scatter. So there I can give you any kind of example you want, and nobody is going to. They can't report me to
Okay,
church.
let me
'Cause
give
it's
a
TikTok.
very easy example.
But
You were saying what people love and other people, what people are insecure about, other people love. Africans, a lot of times we're insecure about our hair. It's too kinky, it shrinks, it does this, it does that. So we get all the wavy and all the long flowing. Then recently, an invention in China, guess what it was? That a hairdresser has found a way to treat their straight hair so that it looks like Afro.
African hair. Can you imagine? You know, in fact, this one that I was going to talk about, it was my wife. There was a part of her body that she, growing up, and she was saying, when we began to talk about different things, she said she was insecure about this part. Meanwhile, I was looking like this part. That the brothers be cruising after. Lagabadaya. That's what she's insecure about. I said, babe, I like that insecurity more than you.
Very funny.
Yes, don't worry. If you meet me on TikTok, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. But my point is, a lot of people are looking for the things that you feel insecure about, and you need to know that just the same way we began this show, right? What was that now?
Sorry. Morales says that the battery, it seems your TikTok is for violence. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
And by the way, Auntie Raga is saying hi.
We hail her back. We hail her back. We hail her. Auntie Raga, we hail you. We hail you. Yes. Yes. So please. Debbie said it's my darling wife for me.
When they're looking for trouble, they are darling in front.
Yes, now,
Don't
yes,
mind
now. That's how these things go. Just the same way when you want to do us somehow, you come and rub our head. My tiny rub our head, a full grown man just be laughing like mumu. I mean, man, we are going through a lot in this life, but what can we do? We like it.
You're going through a lot, but you like it.
But we like it. We like it.
Very funny.
Okay. So I was going to say, just as we said at the beginning of the program, right? It actually begins, dealing with insecurity begins with you. It begins with you. And you have to be able to look at yourself and tell yourself the truth. This is who I am. This is the way I am. This is what I am. Now, even if you want to change it, even if that's not what you want to be, but you have to first acknowledge that it is what you are. And then you can now begin the process. Just like KJ said at the beginning, you pay the price to get to what you want to be. Do you understand? So and insecurity doesn't mean you stay a certain way because you say, oh, okay, I've told myself the truth, this is where I am, and I stay. Is there a better version of you? So you can begin from where you are and journey to where you need to be, And the best way to cap it for me is that saying that to thy own self be true. That's where we need to begin with dealing with this.
All right. I think
you're about to round up. I just remembered something.
Yeah,
I just remembered the question about low self-esteem and inferiority complex.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So low self-esteem and inferiority complex. They actually are like brother and sister. Do you understand? Even though one of them is actually graded.
Let's keep it simple. Low self-esteem. Your self-esteem is low. Please keep the question up. Your self-esteem is low. What you think of yourself is low. It's like, oh, I'm not amongst the best. Maybe you'll be like those children of Israel that say we are like grasshoppers.
Before their eyes.
Inferiority. You feel inferior.
You feel less than yourself.
So low self-esteem could actually exist with just you. But inferiority complex, it's related to people around. This is where you're beginning to compare yourself with that guy, with this lady, with those other people, with this other singer, with this other, do you understand? With this other TikTok personality and stuff. You start to compare and you feel inferior. right? They are all related, but the context is just slightly different. But the fact is that insecurities can cause all of them.
All of them, yeah, is the root cause.
Yes,
Is the root cause
so that's
of
what
all
you
of
need to
them.
know.
And
Okay.
please, people, comparing yourself with yourself
It's not wise.
is not wise.
Yes.
It's not wise. Just be true to yourself.
Not wise.
And whatever version of yourself you want to see, put it in front
Yeah.
of you and walk
Yeah.
towards it.
And for those of you who are Christians, you know what the Bible says. I mean, there's so much loaded in there to help you develop your self-esteem, to help you build your a healthy self-worth, right? So that, and to help you address some of those insecurities. Because I mean, when it comes to things about your body, and then you read a scripture that tells you are fearfully and wonderfully made. At a point, you say, God must have known what he was doing when he made me this height.
Exactly.
This
This
complexion, gave me how much hair I have, and stuff like that. So,
And even
yeah.
when life happens to you, like some of us, you know, we went from 6-pack to 1-pack. You know, and then when you look at the 1-pack version of you in the mirror, you are like, this is not the pack that I want to have. The reality is, if they say, you have 1-pack, I'll tell you, bro, it didn't come easy. Yeah. So it's 1-pack. But if what I want to see is 3 or 4 or 6 packs, it means that I will tell you I am 1-pack right now, but I'm on my journey to 6. Do you understand? That's how to deal with insecurities. Otherwise, I will keep feeling, hey, I'm 1-pack. I'm not up to the packs that they need. You know, I'm 1-pack, but if I'm on journey to 6, come and catch me with my trainer. I'll be sweating and abusing him, but I will still be doing it because what am I looking for? I'm looking for.
No. You don't abuse your trainer. You just tell him things like, "You're mean. You're wicked." You know, that's.
Okay, so I don't abuse him. I just tell him he's wicked.
All right, everyone. Please remember to share this video. Let other people who are dealing with this insecurity matter get help.
Share it.
And if you've had fun here, if you've enjoyed this discussion and the banter on the chat, please go ahead and give us a like. And remember after the show to leave a comment, right? So even if it's just leave a comment after the show when the show has ended, so that there's some feedback, right?
Yes,
and it helps a lot.
So if you're not on the live, please go once we end the show, go to the comment section and leave your comment there. We will respond to it.
Yes, and if you have not yet watched Inflation, please go and watch it and help us.
Links,
yes.
So you can watch the Inflation,
the word.
share it,
yes.
share it,
so
because
we some joy.
Yeah, we do this on this channel. We don't charge for any of these things that we do. If you come to my office, I will charge you. It's business time.
And if you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? On this channel is free. Please subscribe, share to your friends, share to your enemies. If your enemy, maybe the reason why your enemy is because he's insecure. Share to him so he will be secure and you people will be friends. You have one less enemy.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. And like we always say, remember, common sense is not so common.
Bye.